Let's talk about the UK's logistics sector. You know, it's an industry we all completely rely on every single day, but right now it is under some serious pressure. It's facing a whole set of challenges that are forcing a total rethink of how everything operates. So let's get into it and break down what's really happening.
Okay, before we dive into all the problems, it is absolutely crucial to understand just how vital this industry is. Don't just think of it as trucks on a motorway. It's so much more. It's really the circulatory system of our economy, the invisible engine that makes sure everything we buy, build, or sell actually gets to where it needs to go.
So let's start right there with its role as the economic backbone. Because, to really get why the industry is under so much strain, you first have to appreciate the massive scale of what it does for the country.
And this backbone we're talking about, it isn't just one thing. It's the physical connection between businesses and us, the consumers. It's the magic that makes next-day delivery even possible. It's the system that keeps our factory lines moving without a hitch, and it's the network that plugs the entire UK into global markets. So you can see, when a system this connected gets disrupted, the ripple effects are huge.
And that brings us to why things are so critical right now. See, the sector isn't just dealing with one problem. It's navigating what you could only call a perfect storm, where a bunch of really powerful, challenging forces are all hitting at the exact same time. Let's break this down a bit. First, you've got an unpredictable economy, right? That's causing the amount of stuff needing to be moved, the freight volumes, to swing all over the place. At the same time, the cost to run the business, fuel, wages, you name it, they're all going up. Then you throw in a tight labor market and a growing pile of regulations and, well, you end up with an incredibly tough environment to survive in.
So what is it that makes this perfect storm so incredibly dangerous? Well, it all comes down to the basic financial reality of the logistics business. This is an industry that, even in the best of times, is used to living on razor-thin margins.
And just in case you're not familiar with the term, the operating margin is basically what's left of your revenue after you've paid for all the variable costs of doing business. It's a really key way to see how profitable and efficient a company actually is. And in logistics, that number is notoriously tiny.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. When your profit margins are already wafer thin, a small spike in fuel prices or a little dip in how much stuff you're moving isn't just some minor headache. It can literally wipe out your entire profit for a quarter. But here's the thing. The industry isn't just standing still and taking these hits. All this intense pressure is forcing a really profound strategic response from everyone. The message is loud and clear. Adapt, or you risk getting left behind for good.
Across the board, we're seeing this kind of four-pronged response become the new playbook. First up, a ruthless review of all their delivery networks to cut out every single wasted mile. Second, a total obsession with asset utilization, making sure every truck, every warehouse, every square foot is making money. Pair that with super strict cost controls, and finally, a complete top-to-bottom reassessment of how they operate, just to find every possible efficiency.
And let's be crystal clear about this. This isn't just about trimming a few expenses here and there. Nope, this is a fundamental rethink of the entire business model. And it's all driven by a relentless, survival-driven push for maximum efficiency.
So, what does this all mean for the future of the industry? Well, this period of intense pressure is literally reshaping everything permanently. We're not talking about short-term fixes anymore. This is the new normal, the new baseline for what it's going to take to win.
Ultimately, you can think of this storm as a great filter. The ability to adapt quickly, to adapt intelligently, that's gone from just being a nice competitive advantage to being the single most important factor that will decide who leads the market tomorrow. And that leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? As all this relentless pressure keeps forcing change and innovation, we have to ask, which companies have what it takes, the foresight, the agility, to come out of this even stronger? And which ones will become casualties of this new, incredibly demanding era? The race is definitely on.